Prince Andrew needs to move out of Royal Lodge right now. The outcast Duke of York has to protect his daughters. Anyone watching Prince Andrew's interview with Newsnight's Emily Maitlis 5 years ago will understand exactly why the Duke won't move out of Royal Lodge. Not only is he pompous, self-regarding and woefully deficient in empathy, he clearly finds it challenging to see another's point of view. Fair enough that he doesn't want to capitulate to his older brother's wishes to evict him. Spares are notoriously petulant when reminded where they sit in the hierarchy. Hello viewers, please remember to subscribe and click on the notifications bell icon, so you will be notified whenever we upload new cookies about the British royal family. But there is a key reason why Andrew needs to move out of the lodge, not in the future but right now, to protect his daughters. The 65-year-old Duke will never restore his reputation. He's old, soiled, damaged goods, and no amount of charitable work or outings at church with more upright members of the family are going to change that. But Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie are young women with royal-adjacent lives ahead of them. For their sake, and in honor of their hard work and discretion, their father needs to do the right thing and hightail it to Frogmore Cottage pronto. For all their flaws and failings, one thing the Duke and Duchess of York have done commendably is raise strong, loyal and respectful children. Beatrice, 36, and Eugenie, 34, are exemplary daughters and cousins. They appear to have navigated the horror of their father's downfall with aplomb despite the deep pain and embarrassment he must have caused them. Likewise, they have upheld their mother at every turn, supporting her through cancer and managing their own fears for her health straight on the back of their father's disgrace must have tested their grit and resilience. What's more, they've had to navigate the rift between their cousins William and Harry. Eugenie, particularly, was close to Harry and Meghan and will have been dismayed at what has unfolded. Who knows to what extent she is still in touch with the couple. What is clear is that she has not taken sides, evidenced by Prince William asking both her and Beatrice to join him at this year's Royal Ascot. The longer Andrew clings to the 30-room Royal Lodge instead of moving to the more modest 5-bed Frogmore Cottage, the more likely it is that his daughters will be to some extent dragged down with him. Beatrice and Eugenie's chances of having more significant roles in the royal family might be under threat. It was understandable that the king didn't put pressure on his brother while Sarah Ferguson battled cancer, but now it's time. Next month the monarch will stop funding his brother's security detail. If Andrew has any shred of sense, not to mention compassion, his legacy should be gifting his daughters a future free from the scandal and indulgent behavior that has characterized his later years. In 2022, 3 years after the Newsnight interview, the Duke paid an out-of-court settlement to his accuser, Virginia Giuffre, ending a civil case against him in the US. He accepted no liability and continues to deny he had sex with the then 17-year-old. Yet Andrew has already compromised his children. By inviting Beatrice to sit in a planning meeting for his Newsnight interview, he risked her reputation. When challenged by Maitlis during the subsequent interview, he invoked an alleged trip with Beatrice to a birthday party at Pizza Express in Woking as an alibi to disprove the claim he was with Giuffre. This week, Beatrice and Eugenie will once again be thrust back into the spotlight with the release of A Very Royal Scandal, the Amazon Prime show where Michael Sheen will portray the Duke as belligerent and deluded. If Rufus Sewell last year skewered Andrew in Netflix's Scoop, this new dramatization of the Duke's spectacular fall from grace is reportedly even more excoriating. The late Queen's adored second son will apparently be characterized by his nastiness and predilection for telling others to get out. In refusing to move out of Royal Lodge, the Duke is missing a trick. He and the Duchess would be inheriting a stunningly renovated home. Andrew could even turn the yoga studio into a cinema, an activity more to his taste. As he manages his siblings' eviction, this is not a battle the king can lose. Cancer will have concentrated his mind, and should his health decline he will not wish to leave William with the Andrew problem. Likewise, cancer, his wife's and his father's, has equally concentrated William's mind. His father might have advocated a slimmed-down monarchy, but the Prince of Wales has seen how deficient the royal family becomes when key principles are out of action. Should the current king pass away before the Wales children reach adulthood, Beatrice and Eugenie, along with Mike and Zara Tyndall, will be vital players in the new monarchy. Together they embody the grace of the late Queen Elizabeth, the application of the Princess Royal and the growing sense of style and warmth that have earned the Princess of Wales such devotion. If their father fails to see how his actions might impact their futures, he is more selfish and stupid than is already apparent. King Charles to hand Prince Andrew a strict ultimatum as housing feud intensifies. King Charles is ready to hand Prince Andrew a strict ultimatum in their ongoing feud regarding his royal lodge home. The monarch has reportedly been trying to evict the Duke of York for some time and has recently intensified his efforts in the form of taking away his brother's security detail. But disgraced Andrew is said to have retorted to childish antics and refused to leave the royal property, instead choosing to brood in a dark room and refusing to leave. His behavior is testing the patience of the king, who is giving Andrew an ultimatum that could make things worse for him if he doesn't abide by the rules. If the Duke of York does decide to leave Frogmore Cottage, which was gifted to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle by the late Queen as a wedding present, could become his new home. King Charles cut off Andrew's security plan in a bid to remove him from the Royal Lodge, but the Duke of York has instead reportedly doubled down. A palace insider claimed Charles' patience is now running thin as Andrew is taking longer than desirable to recognize the reality of the situation. The source told The Times, if he doesn't agree to move to a property better suited to his needs, then the king may have to reconsider the levels of support he is willing to provide. Some have suggested that ex-wife Sarah Ferguson's £4 million Belgravia home could also be a suitable alternative for the Duke and Duchess of York to live in as it sits empty. But experts have played down that idea. A royal correspondent pointed out that this property is not a silver bullet to the Prince Andrew problem, and could not only cause problems for him, but also places a burden on the UK taxpayer. Royal commentator Gareth Russell warned of the security risks that come with placing Prince Andrew in the Mayfair house. He told GB News, moving someone like Prince Andrew, who is a brother of the monarch and also a very controversial public figure, into a private residence in the centre of one of the busiest cities in the world, is not something that can feasibly be undertaken unless there is a security presence there. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and drop comments, and most importantly don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything.